Hello, Carol. How are you?
I'm fine, Carla. How are you?
I'm well. I'm Carla Ann Henry, health reporter for WBBY.
It's nice to be here today.
Great. Tell me why you come here today.
I come here today as a patient advocate. I come here today to get a message across about Parkinson's disease and more specifically about Parkinson's dementia, which occurs in about 40% of Parkinson's cases.
Oh, really? Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Parkinson's dementia happens usually at the later stages of the disease, but it seriously impacts not only the patient's life, but the caregiver, the family, friends. It's far-reaching. The patient is no longer able to make rational decisions. They may have hallucinations, delusions, unrealistic fears. They may not recognize people.
And what would you tell caregivers that have patients at home that are experiencing changes like this?
I think you need to be aware that this is a problem. In my case, I didn't know that as a nurse even, and my husband was a physician, and we were not aware that Parkinson's dementia was as prevalent as it is. Did you know that it's 40% of the patients will develop Parkinson's dementia?
I didn't know that. What are some of the resources out there for people?
In the past there haven't been many resources available for people. We have support groups available locally in many areas, and I encourage people to do that because you feel so very isolated. You think at the time you're probably the only person going through this. You're angry at what this has done to you, your loved one, your life, your future. It's a very frustrating, depressing feeling that you're having to go through this and your loved one's having to go through it. And I think too that probably the best thing as a caregiver you can do is to get all the information you can about the disease, about the possibility of dementia, and inquire about possible clinical trials or studies that are being conducted to help people with Parkinson's disease and more specifically with a Parkinson's psychosis.
Could you tell our audience about some of these clinical trials and some of these studies that are going on?
Currently, the FDA has approved no Parkinson's drugs for Parkinson's dementia. There is a clinical trial going on right now for a new drug to treat Parkinson's dementia. And I know in our case, had that been available, we certainly would have taken advantage of that. I think through clinical trials, we're going to get the most information and in the quickest manner because you're able to look at large groups of patients and get data very fast. So I know being an educator and a physician and myself being a nurse, my husband and I both would have been very involved in clinical trials had they been available.
And how does one find out about these clinical trials?
You find out about the clinical trials first by talking to your neurologist. Say, what is out there? What can we do? And then the internet is a powerful tool. Get on the internet and put in Parkinson's dementia, Parkinson's psychosis, see what resources come up for you. Go on the Parkinson's organization website. Just be informed, be proactive, get out there and find out everything you can.
That's fantastic information. And I have one last question. How did you take time for yourself? Were you ever able to go anywhere or do anything?
No. You really, it's rare in my experience from talking to many caregivers, and in my case, it's if you get to go away for an hour to the grocery store, it's a vacation, and you just, despite the fact you need to make time for yourself, it's not possible. So that's why I encourage people to get resources, to contact family, to say, this is what I need to have done. Give them specific tasks. Recognize that you as the caregiver cannot do everything you did before. You're going to have to prioritize your needs for today, next week, next month, and accept the fact that things are not going to be the same that they have been in the past.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your information.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me here.
Take care.